All right, welcome back to 5 on the floor here, Kaseya Center, the Heat's house. I've got Alex Toledo. You can follow him at Tropical Blanket. Brady Hawk, you can follow Brady Hawk 305. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick at 5 Reasons Sports. And we've got the newly re-signed Haywood Highsmith here. First thing we need to start with before we get to anything else, you're in a Dolphin town.
Here we go.
I mean, you wearing any purple anywhere here? Anything? A little bit. The Ravens, right there. The tat right on the right forearm. All right, sorry. We'll give you credit. Well, it's been a rough time for the Dolphins recently.
Listen. Tua's hurt. You guys are cooked. Okay. Let's just put it out there. Let's just put it out there. Tua's hurt. You guys are cooked.
Maybe Lamar will come back someday. He's a local guy.
Tyler Huntley's pretty good, so y'all might be good tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, you'll be a good person to ask about that, right?
Yeah, he was actually pretty good when Lamar got hurt a couple years back. Yeah.
All right.
Now you went out to the stadium, right?
Yeah, the Raven Stadium.
And you said that was like a dream come true for you. Was that before we get into the basketball stuff? Was that first love?
Say it again.
Was football first love?
It was tied with basketball at one point. I love football. I really did as a kid, but it just got too cold for me. Got way too cold. I couldn't do it.
Well, you did take a lot of contact in the paint.
Yeah.
Want to get to this summer and for you. I mean, I know the most important thing this summer was my daughter went to Heat camp and you got to meet her and you got to sign an autograph for her. That was way ahead of everything else. And she actually won Best Screening Award from Tony Fiorentino.
Best screener?
Yeah, Best Screener. And I said that's a little like you.
Yeah,
so she was also told that she can't shoot, and that comes from me. But the process of coming back. Be honest now. Season ends. How confident were you that you were going to be back this year?
I was extremely confident. I felt like everything worked out, the way it's supposed to work out. I always expressed that I wanted to be in Miami. I feel like this is my second home, and I just wanted to be here. I felt like we was building something really, really strong here, and this is the team that gave me my first real opportunity in the league. So I just wanted to stay here and just keep growing and keep developing.
This gives you, I'll get to Brady in a second, this gives you flexibility too, right? Because, I mean, you get a contract that gives you some security, but also you're not tied to it for 4 years or anything like that. Was that something that was attractive to you?
Yeah, for sure. I felt like, in these 2 years I could really also grow and, after these 2 years get a way better, not way better, but, more impressive contract as well, for sure. I mean, it was more tied to, the guaranteed money, and just trying to just get some stability. I really haven't had a lot of stability in my NBA career. I have guaranteed money now on the table, so I had to take that for sure.
I want to talk about your development. Like a year ago, I remember you said you wanted to work on the floater. You came back, you had the floater, and I think this season you said you want to be more of a playmaker. I'm just wondering, what does that look like for you? Like when you're looking at this offense, like what spots are you kind of looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a lot of different ways I can just be involved as far as playmaking. The fake handoffs, getting to the rim, but also, when the big steps up, dropping it off the bam or kicking it out to somebody in the corner for the three, the wing for the three, attacking off of that, transition, getting a rebound and pushing on a 3-on-2, a 2-on-1, pushing, maybe drop off, maybe dump out to dunking on the three, stuff like that. Just being more aggressive overall, just being, a threat to score. Sometimes I feel like, I'm just there just to create space for Jimmy and Bam or whatever, but also just being a threat for me and just making the defense guard me. Obviously, they're going to put, the worst defenders on me. That's nothing. So just getting them involved in the actions, being a threat, and just being more aggressive and, being more confident on that end of the floor.
You talk about trying to continue growing your offensive game, and I think fans and other people around the league know how good you are already on the defensive side. Even with that, is there any growth that you want to do there? I know it's about the team for you guys, it's about winning and getting back to being an elite defensive team, but as far as individually, is there any part of you that wants to be recognized as far as an all-defensive team at some point in your career? Because I feel like a lot of fans feel like you're kind of at that level. You can guard the 4 different positions and do it at a high level. So how much growth is it for you, and how much of it is wanting to be recognized as one of the best defenders in the league?
For sure. I'm not a perfect defender at all. I make mistakes all the time, I definitely, want to work on my communication this year, being more vocal, as far as, switching or, saying I'm low or being outside and just helping out, some of my teammates on defense as well.
Okay.
Being in passing lanes, getting more. I think I get more steals than I got last year. And just also being more disciplined with the fouls. Obviously, it's been kind of tough because, I'm not a new guy in the league, but I'm a kind of a younger, nobody really knows me like that kind of guy in the league. So the refs going to give me a bad whistle sometimes, which is cool. I understand that. That's what comes with being a good defender. You're going to get some calls that don't go your way. And then as far as the awards and stuff, obviously, I went into this offseason, I really feel like I can be a first team all defensive player, second team all defensive player, you know. And I feel like Bam could be a defensive player of the year. Like, I think if I have, you know, the skills and the abilities, I just go out there and do it, you know, and really set that tone for sure. So that's definitely a goal for me this year. And just to you know, go out there and just do what I do, be a lockdown defender. Like I said, be more disciplined with the fouling. I think my fouling was kind of up this year, which is, you know, it is what it is. But I'll be better, and, you know, one game at a time.
Here with Haywood Highsmith on 5 on the floor. You talk about the offense and being a release valve at times. You know, I remember the Orlando game up there this year where they just kept finding you. I think Jimmy missed that game, or Bam, one of them missed that game up there.
Yeah.
And they just kept finding you over and over and over. Do you consider yourself to be sort of a rhythm three-point shooter? Because we see certain guys, you know, they get 1 or 2, 3 a game. It's tough to kind of get in that flow, but you're going to be getting most of those shots off actions from others. How do you kind of stay warm in those situations? And are you somebody, do you think as the volume goes up, your percentages might actually go up, which is not the case with everybody?
I think for sure I can, like, if I hit, you know, 2 in a row, 1 in a row, I feel like I can keep going. Like, I'm going to be hot. That's how I feel. So I do feel like I am kind of like a, you know, rhythm type shooter sometimes. But, you know, obviously I'm not going to be getting 5 threes every single game or 4 threes every single. Like, I'm going to get sometimes I'm going to get 1, maybe 2, 3. Maybe might get a couple where I do get 4 or 5. So I got to always just be down, ready to shoot, you know, have the same release every time. And yeah, like you said, I'm going to get it off action. So just got to just understand that, you know, sometimes I'm not going to, even if I'm open for the 3, I might not get the ball, but also just being down and ready and just, you know, doing the same release every time. So, and just keep shooting. Obviously, like if I get 2 and wide open and, you know, I miss them, and I get the next one that's open, shoot it again. You know, just making sure that I'm not, you know, second-guessing myself on wide open shots where I know I can make this shot, and it's a good shot, and it's probably the best shot my team's going to get.
Before I go to these guys, one more thing, and I kind of know what the answer to this will be. Is finishing more important to you than starting?
Yes.
Okay.
I love to finish games more than starting, for sure.
I wanted to ask you about watching Bam this summer, just kind of seeing him play for the Olympics and seeing all the stuff he was able to do, and also the shooting. I know that everybody's saw a little bit end of last season. You've seen his growth up to this point, but how much do you think that him getting those shots up does change stuff for the offense and changes stuff for him?
Nah, for sure. I mean, he showed in the Olympics that he can literally be a 3-and-D player. He, like, when he came back from the Olympics, I was working out with him a couple times, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to take your job. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, I'm making corner threes and playing defense. I'm like, okay, bro, we'll see. You know, you doing the Olympics. I was just talking back to him. But, nah, I mean, if he can, I'm working out with him a lot, like I said, and his jumper is way, way more better, more consistent. You know, if he can bring that to the real game, that changes our whole type of dynamic in the sense that we can put him at the 4. You know, we can put him with Khalil, put him with, you know, K-Love sometimes as well, or TB, or whoever. So he can guard, you know, like the wings, you know, Tatum, you know, Giannis. Well, he's going to guard Giannis probably, but like guys like that. So, I mean, that can definitely expand the game. You know, 2-man actions with him and Jimmy, him and Tyler, him and Terry, like him picking, popping. He has the top of the key for sure. I think the corners and the wings, if he gets those, he can definitely be, you know, definitely a game changer for this offense for sure.
The next thing I wanted to ask you was, you know, you've been through a lot with this team, and you look at the playoff success that this team has had throughout the Jimmy era and the way that last season ended. How much of that and the way that the season ended motivates you guys to come back into the season where a lot of, you know, media people, frankly, are just kind of putting you guys in a lower tier, you know, maybe not taking you guys as serious as far as, you know, championship contending? Is it all about health? Is it all about putting it all together? How much is that balance important to getting back to that level that you guys want to get to, and what's the path to getting back there?
Yeah, I think it's both. You know, obviously we dealt with some injuries in the past, you know, in the playoffs. And obviously, you know, it's not really a new group. We got some new guys, but I think we have the same type of core. You know, Terry obviously wasn't here all last year, but he, you know, he's going to go through training camp this year and kind of build something special. I feel like throughout training camp in the preseason that can really, you know, go to the game. So I think it's a little bit of both for sure. I mean, always going into the offseason, coming into the season, they always come out the Heat, always try to put us in the mid-tier or low-tier, whatever. That's what we're used to. You know, we don't really listen to the media. You know, like I was telling them over there, like obviously all these teams made these acquisitions in the offseason, but you still got to go out there and play basketball at the end of the day. Like just because you look good on paper don't mean you're going to be a good team, you know, when you step out on that court. I mean, it's a lot of teams in the past have had great talent and nothing's really came of it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like, we're confident in ourselves, and we know that we got that dog and that it factor. And, we've been in these big playoff games, these big playoff moments before. We have some of the clutchest players in the league. Tyler's very clutch, Jimmy's very clutch, Bam is a very clutch player. Like, they've been in those moments. They've been in the finals twice, So, end of the day, you got to go out there and play.
Final thing, and again, we appreciate Haywood Highsmith joining us. His Ravens takes aside. You're out on an island here. One player in the league that would give you pause as a defender. In other words, your toughest guard in space.
One player?
One player.
I'm going to say Kyrie Irving.
Okay. Speaks for itself.
That one's fair. What do you do to him? What you try to take away the
Listen,
middle? Try to. What do you do?
So you telling me I'm on an island?
You're on an island.
Help.
You got Kyrie.
You
There's
can't
no help.
shade him towards the help.
There's no help. There's no help. Luke is complaining to the officials on the other side of the court.
Listen, I'm gonna do my best. Try to get him to make a tough shot over me. Try to stay down. No fouls. Like I said, gotta try to do my best. You can only do so much when you got that much space and that guy with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I was going to say. There's only one thing that stopped Kyrie, and that was New York State and vaccine and all that stuff. Anyway, Haywood, we appreciate the time. Good to have you back here.
Appreciate you guys having me. Thank you very much.
Hope you have a great
Yes,
season.
Yes, sir. Thank
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.